Alright, how you guys doing? Alright. Okay, so I was checking the calendar app the other day, as I usually do. The calendar app is easily my favorite app on the iPhone. I spend at the very least 6 hours a day on the calendar app, just, you know, staying up to date with the date. Anyway, so I had realized that apparently it's been 4 days since my 20th birthday, which I completely forgot about, as you do as a guy. So yeah, and then it really hit me. I'm 20 years old. 20 years old. Plus 4 days. The last birthday that I remember celebrating is my 16th. But other than that, it feels like the last 4 years are just very foggy and almost like they didn't happen. Like, I can't comprehend that almost half a decade has gone by and I may have about 6 memories from its entirety. And all of those memories are just very, like, random, awkward stuff that happened to me. Like, I remember this memory just refuses to leave my mind. I remember some random day I was apparently feeling very generous and I wanted to give this homeless pregnant lady a 20 dirham note, which is about $2. So I ended up handing her a bus ticket, and I only realized once I was back home. In hindsight, she probably just had a football under her shirt and wasn't actually pregnant, and most likely would have just spent the money on meth, which I did anyways. So just random shit like that is all I can recall from the last 4 years. And by the way, just with that incident alone with the homeless pregnant lady, I couldn't tell you if that happened when I was 17, 18, or 19. I just know that it happened within that time frame. That's how foggy my memory is. Or maybe it didn't even happen. Maybe it was just a fucking dream. Here's the thing. When this video goes up, either you guys will find what I'm saying relatable and will have a good laugh about it in the comments, or I'm just gonna realize that apparently I'm just going through early symptoms of Alzheimer's. Anyway, so ever since the calendar app incident where I was shocked to find out that I was 20 years old suddenly, I've been thinking about how useless calendars are, just in general, right? Follow me on this. Imagine how simple life would be if there was no 2000 whatever, no January, no February, no whatever comes after February, just good old days of the week. And matter of fact, just Monday and Sunday. I honestly think that's all we need. Monday and Sunday. And if today's Monday, then tomorrow is Sunday, and Sunday was yesterday as well. It sounds dumb, but follow me on this. I honestly believe that the world would be so much of a better place. First of all, you don't have to remember people's birthdays. That's out of the window. We don't have to waste time in school having kids memorize specific dates of when some irrelevant historical figure died. Like, just, when did Napoleon die? He died a while ago. He died a fucking while ago. Like, way before the television was invented. There you go. That's as specific as you should need to be. Oh, but we need dates so we can document people and give them birth certificates. Somebody please tell me, what is the point of a birth certificate? If you're talking to somebody, right? Imagine that you're talking to somebody and he's standing right in front of you and you're both looking at each other's eyes. Why do you need a piece of paper to tell you that he was born? How the fuck could he be standing in front of you if he wasn't born yet? Cavemen survived for thousands of years without having birth certificates or any kind of identification paper. When somebody was born, they just gather around the baby and they look at each other in agreement, and they're like, yeah, this kid's part of the tribe now. When was his birthday? Well, today. He was born today. And tomorrow we're gonna say that his birthday was yesterday. And after that, we just say that he was born a while ago. That's it. We don't need to memorize. It's just so useless. Okay, so I'll admit that was a bit of a weird rant, but let me get a bit serious. This video originally supposed to be me diving deep into what it feels like to suddenly turn an age that you always felt like was never gonna come, and suddenly it did. I mean, it didn't suddenly come, but it felt like it was very sudden. So, I don't know exactly what I thought being 20 years old was supposed to feel like, but it's definitely not this, because I feel just as clueless as I did when I was 16 years old. And probably even more, because the thing about life is that for each thing that you learn, it opens you up for a whole different branch of questions, and you just start to realize how vast life really is and how you're a small speck within an infinitely expanding universe. If I were to sit down with my 16-year-old self right now, first of all, I'll beat the living shit. Second of all, I feel like the only difference would be between me and him would be the fact that I have a more accurate understanding of how the world operates. So maybe I'm less gullible and harder to manipulate. But other than that, Other than that, but other than that, you know, that kid is still me. Him and I went through the same rough patches in life. And a lot of the questions that he had, I still haven't found the answers to most of them. Like, what's my purpose in life? Why does everybody else always seem to have figured it out, but I never did? Why can't life just be peaceful all the time? I mean, I guess at 16 I was gullible enough to think that by the time I'm 20 I'm gonna have the answers to all of those things, and I think that's the reason why it felt like I was never gonna hit 20 years old, because it didn't matter how close I got to hitting that age. Subconsciously I always assumed that being 20 comes with an extra package of knowledge, just automatically, and as long as I didn't have that extra knowledge, it didn't feel possible to turn 20. Like, the idea of being 20 and at the same time still having a sense of purposelessness and a feeling of being lost and not knowing what to do with your life, I didn't think it was possible. I'm at that age, which I always thought once I hit, even if my life is still chaotic, even if I'm still struggling, at the very least, I'll have things figured out, and there's going to be a clear-cut path in front of me leading me to where I want to be in life. Even if there's still so much chaos around me, at least I'll have a vision to where I want to be in life. And here I am, still just as lost as I've always been. I've just had a bit of a terrifying realization, and I want you to really think about this, right? Imagine you did the same thing again and again and again every day for the rest of your life. You're probably gonna turn 30, 40, 50, and 60 years old and mentally still be the exact same dumbass you were at 16. Imagine how scary that would be. It's very disappointing to think that age doesn't constitute knowledge. Like, for the longest time, since I was a kid, I've always thought that the older you got, the more wisdom you gain. But the thing is, if that was true, there would be no idiots above the age of 40. You just have to make sure you don't turn out to be one. And I guess you do that by experiencing things, willfully putting yourself through situations that are way outside your comfort zone. Like starting a business, right? Asking your crush out for coffee, taking financial risks, and you know, when you think about it, the embarrassment and the failure that you're so terrified of, it's a small price to pay for the wisdom that you gain. And you have to think about the alternative. You have to think, well, do you want to be the exact same moron that you are at 60 and 50 and 40 years old? Because that's the only alternative. Oh shit, I just realized I still haven't come up with an outro. This video is brought to you by the DanCube YouTube channel. Nobody wants to sponsor this channel. I don't know why. We have like 900,000 subs now. And I mean, the views on every video are pretty much the same, if you ask me. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I don't really like coffee, by the way.